A chilly Friday here in Mogadishu, 4th of August 2023. Welcome to Somalia's premier #1 station for news and updates. I'm your presenter, Abdurrahman Yusuf. Have a look at the stories that are making our headlines tonight first, before we delve into the full bulletin. National Intelligence and Security Agency arrests 10 spies for Al-Shabaab. AU-UN reaffirmed to enhance their state-building efforts in Somalia. Over 160 Al-Shabaab rebels neutralized in Somalia. Somali National Army foils an Al-Shabaab landmine attack. Now let's delve into a full bulletin. The Somali government has confirmed that the National Intelligence Security Agency, NISA, has arrested 10 individuals who are spying for the militant group Al-Shabaab. The announcement was made by the Information Minister, Daud Awais, on Friday, who stated that the arrests were made following a thorough investigation by NISA.
The Somali government has confirmed that the National Intelligence and Security Agency, NISA, has arrested 10 individuals who were spying for the militant group Al-Shabaab. The announcement was made by the Information Minister, Daud Awais, on Friday, who stated that the arrests were made following a thorough investigation by NISA. Awais also revealed that the government officers who were involved in spying for Al-Shabaab are currently on the run and urged the public to provide any information they may have regarding the whereabouts of Abdisattar Abdul Qadir Ise and Ayanle Mohammed Ali.
iyo dabagal ku haysay ayaa waxay soo ogaatay in ay jiraan dad ka dhex shaqeynaya hay'adaha amniga ama xogta dawladda gudbina qawaariijta taas darteedna ay suuro gelisay NISA in ayaga waajibaadkooda gudanaya ay gacanta ku soo dhigaan 10kaas xubnood. sidoo kale waxaa jira xubno ku dhex jiray ciidamada ammaanka oo basaasiin u ah qawaariijta kuwaas oo baxsaday ayna ku daba joogaan ciidamada amniga waxaana kamid ah Abdisattar Abdul Qadir Ise iyo Ayanle Mohammed Ali oo labaduba ka tirsanaa hay'adaha amniga. waxaa haddaba lagu wargelinayaa shacabka iyo dhammaan hay'adaha dawladda inaysan la macaamili karin xubnaha basaasiinta ah ee lagu daba joogo. sidoo kale waxaa lagu wargelinayaa shacabka Soomaaliyeed xubnahan qofkii xog hela ama ay la soo xiriiraan in ay ku soo wargeliyaan hay'adaha amniga.
The arrests come as the Somali National Army and its international allies continue to carry out successful operations against Al-Shabaab. According to Awais, over 160 militants have been killed in recent operations, and the group has lost significant territory in Hirshabelle, Galmudug and Southwest states. The successful operations have dealt a major blow to Al-Shabaab, which has been responsible for numerous bombings and attacks on civilians in Somalia. The group has been designated as a terrorist organization by the United States, the United Kingdom, and other countries. The Somali government has been working closely with international partners to combat Al-Shabaab and other extremist groups. The country has received significant support from the United States, which has provided military aid and training to the Somali National Army. Despite the progress made in recent years, Al-Shabaab remains a significant threat to the security and stability of Somalia. The group continues to carry out attacks and bombings in the country, targeting government officials, security forces, and civilians.
The African Union and United Nations mission in Somalia have pledged their support to Somalia's state-building process. Isa Kaisira, the head of the UN Support Office in Somalia, and Mohammed El-Amin Saif, the head of the Africa Union Transition Mission in Somalia, ATMIS, visited Kismayo, a town in the southern Somalia, where they met with the UN and ATMIS staff to talk about the ongoing operations against Al-Shabaab terrorist group, as well as security and political issues. The Africa Union and United Nations mission in Somalia have pledged their support to Somalia's state-building process. Isa Kirabo Kaisira, the head of the United Nations Support Office in Somalia, and Mohammed El-Amin Saif, the head of the Africa Union Transition Mission in Somalia, visited Kismayo, a town in the southern Somalia, where they met the United Nations and ATMIS staff to talk about the ongoing operations against Al-Shabaab terrorists, as well as security and political issues. Saif urged the staff to keep imparting specialized training and knowledge to Somalia's public servants in order to contribute to an increase in the number of skilled workers across various sectors. The AU representative implored the staff to assist in carrying out the United Nations Security Council resolutions, which direct ATMIS to help Somali security forces gradually assume control of the security responsibilities before the mission's departure from Somalia in December 2024. ATMIS and its partners are getting ready to conduct a joint technical assessment on the phase 1 of the ATMIS troop withdrawal, which was completed in June, at the time the two officials' visit occurred. The second phase, which calls for ATMIS to withdraw additional 3,000 troops by the end of September, will be informed by the findings. A total of 2,000 ATMIS personnel left Somalia during phase 1, and the Somali security forces received control of 6 military bases. Over 160 Al-Shabaab militants were killed in recent operations carried out by the Somali National Army and its international allies, a senior Somali official told stakeholders on Wednesday, describing the operations as successful throughout the nation. In addition, Al-Shabaab has lost territory, particularly in Hirshabelle, Galmudug, and southwest states, where the army has been scoring ahead of the second phase of the operations against the group, according to the nation's Minister of Information, Daud Awais. Over 160 Al-Shabaab militants were killed in recent operations carried out by the Somali National Army and its international allies, a senior Somali official told stakeholders on Wednesday, describing the operations as successful throughout the nation. In addition, Al-Shabaab has lost territory, particularly in Hirshabelle, Galmudug, and southwest states, where the army has been scouring ahead of the second phase of the operations against the group, according to the nation's Minister of Information, Daud Awais. Over 100 fighters were killed along the border of Galgaduud and Middle Shabelle regions, according to Awais, who also noted 60 more were killed in Gofgaduud, which is located 30 kilometers to the west of Baidoa, the administrative center of the southwest state. He added that during the operations, militants' military tools and vehicles were confiscated. The minister reiterated that the significant progress made in abating Al-Shabaab menace would not have been possible without the assistance of international community. This unfolds as the Africa Union Transition Mission in Somalia ATMIS troops continue to be withdrawn, with about 3,000 of them expected to leave the country in a month's time. Awais, however, is adamant that Somalia's security forces are capable of taking over security duties from the peacekeepers. By December 2024, when the majority of the peacekeepers will have left the Horn of the African nation, it is anticipated that the country will have stabilized. Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Burundi are currently contributing nations to the powerful ATMIS force, which is in charge of maintaining the stability of the nation. But before the second phase of the operations against Al-Shabaab, President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has contacted Kenya, Ethiopia, and Djibouti to ask for the deployment of non-ATMIS troops to the nation. US-trained Somali special forces and local militia killed a militant who was attempting to plant a landmine on the road bridging Janai Abdallah and Bulo Galgaduud in order to halt an Al-Shabaab attack in the lower Juba region. Speaking about the incident, an army officer praised the commandos and the local forces for their unfaltering commitment to defending the populace against the terrorism. He promised to stay committed to their goal of eliminating Al-Shabaab threats. US-trained Somali special forces and local militia forces killed a militant who was attempting to plant a landmine on the road bridging Janai Abdallah and Bulo Galgaduud in order to halt an Al-Shabaab attack in the lower Juba region. Speaking about the incident, an army officer praised the commandos and the local forces for their unfaltering commitment to defending the populace against terrorism. He promised to stay committed to their goal of eliminating Al-Shabaab threats. Then our forces captured another militant in the region on Thursday afternoon during a distinct operation. Security officials called on the public to remain vigilant and report dubious activities that could threaten their lives to the government security agencies. It is anticipated that the second phase of the anti-Al-Shabaab operations will begin in the coming weeks as the Somali government forces, assisted by international partners, step up their efforts against Al-Shabaab. Since August, government forces have been making significant progress against the militants, launching a major Somali-led campaign against Al-Shabaab. This offensive has been regarded as the most effective in countering the terror group in the past 15 years. Despite these gains, Al-Shabaab continue to carry out frequent attacks in the capital and other parts of the country. The group has been waging an insurgency against the government and its allies for over a decade, seeking to establish a strict form of one Islamic rule in Somalia. The use of landmines is a common tactic employed by Al-Shabaab in its attack against government forces and civilians. The group has also carried out suicide bombings and assassinations, as well as targeted attacks against United Nations personnel and aid workers. Lovely viewers, I wish to thank all those who made this news bulletin a success, and wherever you're tuning in from, have yourselves a lovely night and keep tabs for more stories in our subsequent bulletins.